This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and I mentioned this in a previous video that I cut, and I wanted to just get this off my chest before I forget, because I have a habit of forgetting. But I did a video where I was talking about the data management on PlayStation 4 and the issues that I had with it, in particular to the upload system, how it affects the share system and things like that. It was a kind of a nitpicky video, but I felt like it was something that needed to be spoke on, because it's very weird that you have issues like that with this system, especially moving along close to being out for about a year and a half now. It's almost a year and a half since the release of the PlayStation 4, and it wasn't just a video I did to knock Sony or the PlayStation 4. I mean, I do enjoy my system, but like I always say, you have to call a spade a spade. You have to be able to talk about the bad just as well as the good. Not everything's perfect, and there's no reason to sit here and try to spin a tale to people, especially people who may be potentially interested in purchasing something. I think the one disservice that a lot of the internet does to the consumer base is spin these tales of how magical their preferred product is without giving them the real on all the issues that it can have. I mean, all of these systems have issues. All of them have their problems. It's good to let people know the pluses and the negatives. That way, they'll be able to make a very well-educated decision when they go to make a purchase. That's just how I view it. And it also helps to keep, even if you are a fan of something, I feel like it always keeps that platform honest. It gives the company notice that, hey, we love your product, but there's things that you can do better. We don't want you to get lazy and fall into the trap of, okay, well, people are buying it, or people who are saying they like it, so there clearly isn't nothing that we need to do to continue to improve or to enhance this. Companies will do that. They will. I mean, it's something I say all the time. The reason that things are done the way they are with certain products, certain situations, what have you, is because we allow it to go that way by giving them a reason to feel like we're accepting that, and we shouldn't always accept that. And that's why I did that video, because it's something that it's not acceptable in my mind. That's just something that's not acceptable at all in my mind. And I think that's the way we need to approach all these things. Like, the Xbox One has its issues they need to address. People, if you have problems with it, speak on it. Seriously, speak on it. It's not hating. It's being critical. And being critical is not a bad thing, as long as it's being done in a constructive manner. That video I did on the PC, it's funny because I love the reaction that I got for the most part, where people started defending certain aspects. It's like, okay, I understand all of this stuff, and some of that I agree. Thing is, you don't need to defend these aspects, because it's not like I'm necessarily comparing. I was saying in that video that, hey, PC isn't as perfect as some people like to make it out to you, and I have a problem with people trying to just talk about PC gaming as the ultimate perfection in gaming. No, there are issues. It's issues beyond the one thing that a lot of people like to bring up, was the optimization. Yes, I understand that when developers are making games, they will pull resources from optimizing a PC version so that they could work on the console version. That's fine. That wasn't what my issue was. It's funny because I don't know how that became one of the subjects of discussion. Mind you, there are PC-only games that have optimization problems as well. So to say that it's just a console thing, it's wrong, because there have been times where people have made PC-only games and the optimization has been fucked up. Why? Because the developers fucked up. You know what I mean? Let's not just say that it's blame other platforms for your problems. That's the easy way out. Nor should you just throw another platform kind of, well, not necessarily throw it under the bus. 'Cause I don't feel like anybody threw the other platforms under the bus. But one of the other things I noticed was there was always the comparison of, well, if this breaks, you can't do this. But if a PC breaks, you could do this. Yes, I understand that. But what's the common thing in the statement that you made? This breaks, meaning, hey, you're going to have hardware issues same way on a console as you will on a PC, and there are some differences. Yeah, it's annoying that you have to send a console in. I agree, but most of the times, if it's under warranty, it's free. PC, especially if you build your own PC, you don't have that option. You're replacing it. You're paying for it, and you either paying somebody to put it in or you have to put it in. So, it's like time loss versus money loss. Both are an issue. Let's not sit here and act like there's not an issue either way, because the reality is, again, everything has its issues. They have their problems, and it does no good to sit and go back and forth and do the comparison thing, to be quite honest, because at the end of the day, all that does is just kind of give these companies license to continue to make mistakes unchecked in my mind, because you're spending so much time trying to defend what's going on that you're missing the big picture. And that is, a lot of times these companies, these products, they need to make sure that they do the right thing, and for the most part they do. Let's not sit here and try to say that Microsoft, Sony, PC part manufacturers, Nintendo, that they're just total evil bastards. It's just that sometimes if there's an issue, like if you have a problem with Nintendo's online service, speak on it. It's okay. You can still like the platform and speak negatively about something that you feel needs to be addressed. That's what you should do. But anyway, I kind of lost myself on a tangent. The point of this video was that some of these things that are going on, or that are still an issue with these platforms, companies need to be a lot quicker to address them, and it's things that they probably should have took care of a while ago. Like, we just got the share suspend feature on the PS4. That was something that was announced in March of 2013. Here we are, the end of March 2015. 2 years from when they introduced this feature, we finally get it. And that's kind of crazy, because it makes you think, why are you guys announcing something that you can't deliver on at launch? It's a feature that makes no sense. The feature makes sense, but the whole announcing it and then sitting on it for a couple of years kind of makes no sense, because you weren't ready. And that's the reality, is that with these consoles, or sometimes with these games that have no issues, they're not ready, because these companies are so quick to want to rush these products out and get them to the market for money, that they don't really take the time and think about putting out a finished product. And I wish that were the goal. I've said this in previous videos. I'll say this: one of the things that used to make Nintendo really great was the Nintendo seal of quality, because that meant that this game was actually complete, that it was up to standards, and that it wasn't a buggy piece of bullshit. If you saw a game that didn't have that seal, that meant Nintendo didn't back it, because they didn't feel like it was warranted. And you had that, you had that thing that would make you take notice and say, okay, there might be some issues with this. Games need to go back to doing that. Systems need to do that too. And there needs to be a lot more transparency. And again, as I said before, there needs to be a lot more honesty in the consumers, the gaming community side too. Like what you like, love what you love, but be very open to discussing the problems, because if you're not, things are not going to improve the way that you want them to, because you're so busy holding this thing up on a pedestal that you're giving them reason to ignore the problems, what's wrong. But that's all I wanted to say. Sorry for the weird tangent. I guess I'm gonna have to make the title something that covers both of those. But that's just my old man gamers rant for today. As always, you guys hit me up, let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Megas, and I'm out. Deuces.